Extremely high levels of radiation were detected at Japan's Fukushima plant. Officials say they detected the highest level of radiation at Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant since it was damaged in a massive earthquake 6 years ago. The Japan Times, citing Tokyo's Electric Power Co. Holdings, said that the radiation in the containment vessel of Reactor 2 at Fukushima hit a maximum of 530 sieverts per hour. The radiation read was taken near the entrance to an area near the pressure vessel, which contains the reactor core. A person could die from a brief exposure to 530 sieverts of radiation, experts said. Officials believe that the escaped melted fuel might be the cause in the spike of the radiation. The Epoch Time goes into further details about it. This greatly exceeds the high of 73 sieverts per hour at the reactor. The reading was 6 years ago, right after the quake hit on March 11, 2011. After the quake triggered nuclear reactor meltdown, 20 kilometers no-go zone was set up around the plant. Residents were evacuated, never to return. So what does this mean? Well, first and foremost, this is bad. Like, it's pretty obvious how bad it is, but what makes it incredibly more so was the fact that the Japanese government allowed for the story to be published. Now allow me to elaborate a little bit on the detail about how Japan's press freedom has fallen over the past few years. In 2011, Japan was considered one of the most freest press locations in the world. It ranked between the 25th to the 15th in press freedom for about 2 decades or so. Then after 2011, the press freedom took a nosedive and has been hovering in the 50th place at all for the past 6 years. Altogether, though, this has been the result of the new conservative government in Japan. Now, what does this mean? How does this relate to the story that just been broken out on the Epoch time? Well, it means that the situation has become so bad that they can't hide it anymore. It's very difficult to hide a reading this massive, especially considering that the record high of 73 has been surpassed by at least 7-fold. Now, what does this mean for Japan? Well, for Japan, it means that there's going to be a lot of backlash against nuclear energy again. And this is ultimately going to cause Japan's carbon footprint to increase tremendously. Because altogether, when Japan closes down reactors, it has to open up coal stations, and that causes carbon emissions. Nuclear energy, despite having its own obvious problems, is much cleaner than this. So what else can I say about it? Well, first and foremost, there has to be more regular checkups on Japanese nuclear reactors. There has to be the same in Australian reactors, even though we have to build more. It also means that we have to start coming towards a more reliable energy source, whether it be fusion or renewable. Nuclear energy is, I believe, one of the best stepping stones we can take towards. Despite having a 20 to 30% efficiency rating, it is still a good way to get energy. Now, this is tragic actually. And the fact that this wasn't reported until right now is just bad.